Hey, Adam Dukes here. Welcome to Dadpreneur TV, my first YouTube live stream. I've been doing this daily TV show over on Facebook and wanted to give YouTube a little love. And so I'm doing my first YouTube live stream, although via Google Hangouts, which I have done before. So I want to share with you, I did a live stream earlier about how to turn what type of business to start. A lot of people ask me this. I've been an online entrepreneur for the last 6 years and have done a lot of different business models in that. And a lot of people get tripped up on what business model or what type of business they should start, what business model they should start or go with. And I'm a big fan of, I started talking about what type of business model, and I kind of got in a little rabbit hole on Facebook, got off of Facebook, went and ate lunch, and then I had something else to say, so firing up the video now. You can turn your mess into your message. And what I mean by this is, what have you gone through maybe in the last 6 months, maybe in the last year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I don't know. Maybe when you're 5, something happened to you, you overcame that adversity. And whatever it is, like I said, maybe 3 years ago you went through a bankruptcy, and you and how you dealt with that, the emotional pain that you go through bankruptcy. Maybe you mastered some things, like you started meditating or reading, or maybe taking a daily walk, or you exercised, or whatever you did to kind of overcome the mental strains of bankruptcy. I can only imagine how painful it's got to be. I've never went through bankruptcy, but it's got to be very, very tough on the whole psyche, the old mindset. And maybe you have some ways to kind of combat that, to help that. Maybe you have some tips and strategies that you could share with someone. You've been through this. This was your mess. Maybe you could share some tips. Hey, this is how I would avoid going in bankruptcy next time. Here's what I would do. Don't spend more than you make. Budget your money. Don't go buy the BMW or things like that. Quit going out to eat. Maybe you can share with the people that are maybe on going through hard times, but not to bankruptcy quite yet. This was a mess of yours. You overcame it, and you can turn this into a message that you can monetize, that you can make money from. You can put out little videos like I'm doing myself. You can put out blog posts. You can put out sound bites. You can start a podcast of how to avoid bankruptcy or how I dealt with bankruptcy, things like that. So whatever you went through, the adversity you overcame, you can share that with people, and you can create courses, you can create coaching programs and coach people. Some people will want to do it on their own, and some people might need some more hand-holding, might need some more one-on-one help, and might reach out to you and be able to pay you money. You could do this on the side, and then eventually, over time, it can turn into a full-fledged business. Maybe you quit smoking. That's something. I quit smoking like 18, 19 months ago, I think it was. I got the vape thing. I tried other things. It didn't work. I would recommend anyone to do the vape. That's what worked for me. And I could turn, that was a mess of mine, smoking for 6 years, and I quit, haven't smoked since. I could turn that into some type of a business. I could have a blog, I could have videos, some motivational things of, hey, don't smoke, remember this, think long-term and health benefits, blah, blah, blah. I could have a blog, video series, a podcast, little audio clips on a website like SoundCloud. With just little things, how you combat the cravings, or replacing cigarettes with a healthier habit, not just eating. A lot of people gain weight, so how you avoided not gaining weight when you quit smoking, something along those lines. You could start up an e-commerce store and sell vape products with the oils and juices, or whatever you want to call it, and the different vapes and things like that. You could start like an e-commerce business. That's another way to turn your mess that you went through, you can relate to, you can market to those people. You know what they're going through because you went through it yourself, maybe 18 months ago, maybe 3 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was. And empathy is extremely, extremely important when you are marketing. So if you've been through it, you can speak their language. Maybe another one is divorce. Obviously, a very, very, unfortunately, something that's popular, again, unfortunately, here in the United States, with 50% of marriages or thereabouts, 1 out of every 2 marriages going into divorce. Maybe you could share your story. You're a husband or wife or whatever, or were a husband or wife, I should say, and you got a divorce, and these are some of the things you would do differently, or this is some of the things that you went through going through the divorce. It was very painful emotionally, so I started meditating, I started reading, I started writing, I started a diary or journaling or something like that. You could share the mess that you went through, the adversity that you overcame. You could share that message with people, and there's a lot of people out there that will resonate to your message. So shine your light and people will come to you. Another one, did you lose a bunch of weight? or even not a bunch of weight. You know, maybe you're just a little bit overweight and you wanted to lose 18 pounds, you know, and you did in 6 months. You know, share with people what you did, you know, the steps you took, the diets you took, what was the thing that worked, what was the thing that really didn't work. You know, I tried these diets for years, they didn't work. But once I did this and I started walking and drinking 8 cups of water, the fat just melted away, you know, something along those lines. What you're doing is your mass, you were at point A at one point, and you went like this and got to point B, you know, not a straight line, of course, but what you can do is help these people get from point A, where you used to be, to point B in kind of the fastest amount of time, not that zigzag route that you went through. You know, you're helping these people. You're cutting time off their goal, you know, trying to get to the point B, you're shaving time off. And that's very, very valuable, and that is worth money. So that's another way. Getting out of debt. A ton of people want to get out of debt. This country is so in debt. How'd you get out of debt? You know, what'd you do? You budgeted your money. You packed your lunches when you went to work. You only spent $100 a week on groceries. You cut the cable bill. You got a second job. Maybe you started delivering pizzas. I got a buddy out here that delivers for Amazon Prime. He makes like 30 bucks an hour, 31 bucks an hour, and he works in like 2-hour blocks. So he can schedule like 2 or 3 sessions together, or just one on a Saturday afternoon from 2 to 4, and make 60 bucks. You know, it just supplements his income. So, I mean, there's a ton out there where you can supplement your income to get out of debt. You know, share that with people. People would love to get out of debt. An additional $300 to $500 a month for the average American family, most of them, it would change their lives. So just that little bit, maybe you can help them and you get out of debt. Again, they're at point A, they want to get to point B where you're at. Just give them the straight, fastest way there, you know, not your zigzags like you took. Take me, for example. I'm doing this Dadpreneur show. I am trying to help dadpreneurs, either aspiring to be entrepreneurs and work from home. Maybe they work the 40-hour or work at 95 and they'd like to be an entrepreneur so they can spend more time with their family. I'm doing these little videos on a daily basis via Facebook live stream, also sharing blog posts and things like that of tips that I have learned over my 6 years of being online. You know, things I would do, things I wouldn't do. You know, this took me a lot of time. These are the struggles I went through. I don't want you to go through those struggles. I'm adding value to people on a daily basis, so it's consistent adding value. And you could do the same thing, whatever mess you went through. It might be something very traumatic, like child abuse, things like that. There are a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that have been through that, and you can help those people. You can create a community of like-minded individuals and help those people. From what I've found, when you create like that community of people, first, and doing something that you truly enjoy doing, truly something that you're passionate and you really want to help these people, whether it's a group of disabled vets or whether it's senior citizens that lost their retirement, whether it's a group of single moms, whatever the group is, you know, you're leading the way, you're the leader. I find when you create that community first and not really think about the money, for whatever reason, the money seems to follow. So don't really think about the money up front. Think about how you can help the people, how you can serve these people, these groups of people, and the money will follow. The last one was quit a soul-sucking job. Maybe you had a soul-sucking job. You hated your boss. You hated the secretary, Debbie, the accountant, whatever it was. You know, you worked there for 3 years and you finally got out. Maybe you started your own business, you know, slowly, you know, over the first 6 months, 12 months, it was a little side gig. After 18 months, you were able to quit this soul-sucking job and now you're doing your own thing. You can share that story too. A lot of people share that story of how they went from getting online to being successful. So there's a ton of ways to turn your mess into your message. Again, you're helping someone go from point A, where you used to be, your mess, and you're helping them go to point B and getting there hopefully as soon as possible, or a lot faster than what you did. You know, maybe it took you years to quit smoking, and maybe you can help someone quit smoking in 3 months, 6 months, you know, and add years to their life, you know. So that is how you can turn your mess into your message. Don't overthink it. Don't chase the money. That's what I did the first couple of years I was online, and I really regret it. Or not regret it, I shouldn't say, but I really, I lost by chasing the money. I got burned out. So that is how you can turn your mess into your message. Thank you.